We've got a lot to do to be our brother or sister's keeper when it comes to the issues of domestic violence. And quite a number of things to do. I'm going to expose such in this video. Hello everyone, you're welcome to another episode of Nursing with Abby. And this is the part 2 of the continuation of 10 signs to see or suspect a victim of domestic violence. I'm Nurse Abiodun, I'm a nurse, I'm a midwife, I'm a public health advocate, and I love what I do. On this channel, Nursing with Abby, we talk about nursing, we talk about lifestyle, and we talk about everything in between. My returning subscribers, I give you a thumbs up. Thank you so much for always joining me on this channel. And if you're watching me for the first time, you're welcome to the family. And like I said, we talk about nursing, lifestyle, and everything in between. Now, still on the sad note of the death of Nwachukwu, the domestic violence that apparently led to her death. And I was talking about 10 signs that you could see in a victim of domestic violence and how you can help. Yesterday, I gave you a brief illustration into the 10 signs that I said, easily anxious. I said, I'm going to check through my list so that I don't miss anything out. I said the person was completely engrossed with positive diversion, which is music in the case of Osinachi, and also varying degrees of bruises on physical assessment that has to do with nurses and healthcare providers, and also bruises that are not consistent with the history that the person is giving. Maybe a woman having a black eye and she's just saying that she hit her head against the wall. Definitely it's not consistent. And also overprotectiveness or controlling or manipulative behavior of the spouse. That is very obvious when they come to the hospital or they present in a public places. They tend to be so overtly protective about the spouse just to ensure that she doesn't stay one-on-one with another person to divulge the domestic abuse or the suffering in silence. And also denial of manipulative behavior. Now they always try to, like I said yesterday, they always try to find a way to speak for the abuser. They find a way to sugarcoat what he does. He doesn't get angry every time. He's just once or twice he beat me. He bought me a gift after the beating. The black eye gave me the car. You can imagine that kind of, and you just keep staying there and enduring the losses. Now, another thing is somatic complaints are not without organic base. That means that the person will be having physical symptoms that just does not correlate with medical investigations or examinations. Maybe complaint of malaria and there is no trace of malaria in the person's blood, complaint of typhoid fever and the wider test is okay. So you can imagine things like that, and the person keeps on coming for various somatic complaints that are not consistent with medical information. Also, there is severe low self-esteem. The person just feels worthless because she just keeps hearing the person that should be the love of her life just keeps telling her the negativities. So all she does is, maybe I'm actually very worthless. Now, there's dissociation from friends and families. Now, the abuser makes sure that she doesn't find opportunity to have connection with her friends and family, because definitely those ones would notice a change in the behavior or the way of life of such a person and probably help to seek give help to her. Another thing is that they are easily manipulated. Yes, they are easily manipulated because they believe when their husband has manipulated them, anybody else can. They believe they are less than a trash that anybody can just come and do anything against. And also reaction of finality may be disastrous. Now that was what I ended yesterday's topic about. I said the reactions of these abused people when they decide to probably fight back could be disastrous. Out of self-defense, when a man is holding onto your throat and you are barely able to breathe and all your hand can reach out is probably a glass or a heavy object, and you just in self-defense try to attack your attacker. At that moment, that person could actually pass on, and there's already a debt on the person's hands. Either she liked it or not. Now, I'm going to continue from the yesterday's episode, just to explain that domestic violence is a way of trying to control or dominate another person, usually physically, verbally, or even sexually. Yes. It definitely could be a spouse, it could be a friend, it could be a wife or husband, So the relationship really doesn't matter. As long as you are trying to control or dominate the behavior of another person, either physically, verbally, or sexually, that is domestic abuse. Now, it sometimes will start from a negative look. Yes, sometimes you start with that decisive look as what's your problem, what's wrong with you. At anything that you do, you don't feel appreciated. It can move on from there to verbal abuse. You are ugly, you are negative, see you to be fat and ugly, just condescending such a person in the lowest means possible. Then it could move away from there to anything that you try to do, the person just washes it away, especially when it comes to getting a new job. It the partner always just says, oh, you're going to be promiscuous with the job, I know that for free. Those things definitely breaks the morale of a woman. Then you now get to the extent of the hits, the slaps, the beats, the punches, the black eye, the bust lip, the red marks on the neck, the sprained wrists, broken bones, sometimes fracture. And such a woman will keep such pain in them. And most of all these physical or bodily harms might not actually be life threatening in the initial moment, but constant abuse physically can probably lead to internal bleeding, which could be the case of what Osinachi Nwachukwu experienced. Now, it's important for us to know that unless the victim decides to come out to seek for help, there's really less that people can do legally to assist or help such a person. But from my little years of experience as a nurse, I noticed that the African community gives a little room for communality. What I mean or trying to say is that you could have a neighbor, a couple that fights. A landlord can come into, sit the two parties together and they can wade into the situation. Now, that is a bit not so common in the Western world. But in Africa, we still have that communality. Even if you find out that your sister, your friend, your neighbor is going through such, you could seek out to maybe an elder in the wife's family or the abuser as the abused family to let them know what is going on. Maybe a church member of Osinachi might have probably gotten to the kingsmen of the Osinachi and explain to them that this woman is just giving, she's just almost gone. She needs help. We noticed this and this and this in church, and she's not like this before. But we noticed that I think she's, domestically abused. Now, a family member's word can make more sense than a random person that just sees a victim like that. So I feel that we could have probably done something to save her life. Now, like I said, the abuser is the only one who can legally fight against the attacker. That is the law. But the African community, the communality in African community could have done something also to help and assist. Oh, storage you.